Tech Sergeant Stephen Wynn with WNN, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with two of Westover's finest. They are crew chiefs in the 439th Aircraft Maintenance Squadron. They were both activated in support of the Afghanistan surge last summer, and they both deployed to overseas locations. They also have very different backgrounds. Gentlemen, if I could have you introduce yourself.
Master Sergeant Marcus, Great Barrington, Massachusetts.
Staff Sergeant Alex Motok, originally from Romania in Europe, but I live in Connecticut.
Okay. And how long have you guys been in the reserves?
19 years.
4 years.
How many times have you guys been activated?
3 for me. Some Army plus this one.
Okay.
This was my first activation.
How did this activation affect your guys' family?
We live kind of out there a little bit in the bush. My wife was pretty lonely since we don't have any kids. It was a struggle for her to do her job and try to communicate and make everything happen while I'm gone, even though this is third deployment. It still didn't get any easier.
Yeah, same here. My wife is just a very strong person, and I was really shocked to see how stressed she was when we got back. We have a 12-year-old boy, and of course she had to take care of the house, pay the bills, clean it, take care of the boy. And she was very relieved when I got back home to share some of that. So also very hard on her.
Absolutely. Every activation definitely is hard, and everybody handles it differently. As far as your civilian careers go prior to the activation, how did the activation affect your civilian careers? Mark, you work here. You were working here prior to the activation.
And then mandates for about 7.5 years.
So it was a pretty smooth transition.
It was.
Even though you deployed, but
it was.
How about you, Alex?
It affected me quite a bit. I was working as a lawyer. I don't have my bar yet, but I was working at a law firm. And after the activation, I stopped doing legal work, and I now actually work here as an Air Reserve Technician, the ARC program that we have here. So it sort of did an about-face on that.
So it definitely, as well as your civilian career, this activation has definitely done a lot to your military career. It was definitely what you were looking for at the time, a more stable job than what you were in.
The stability, definitely a good job, but also a very satisfying job in a way that other work is not. Where just working for your country, as it were, for the Department of Defense it's very satisfying.
Now, as far as this activation went, what would you do differently next time? Because inevitably, you guys are both staying here for a while. You're not going anywhere. What would you do differently on the next activation?
I don't think there would have been too many different changes. People were as prepared as they could be. Just try to stay focused and let things roll. Don't let anything bother you. You have to go. You have to go. It's what you signed up for. Just try to keep your cool and roll with the punches. Really.
How about you, Alex?
I don't think I would do anything differently. We didn't mention it in the interview, but Sergeant List was actually my supervisor when we were in Germany, and I really enjoyed working for him. I learned a lot from him, and I'd probably be a better crew chief if we deployed again. But other than that, I think maybe just the experience for my wife, knowing how to handle it, the experience for me, knowing that she would be stressed out. I think maybe just being more encouraging with her on the phone, because I would realize that she's stressed out by my absence. He made it easy. I mean, he taught me a lot of stuff. I was very experienced when I went, and he was much more experienced than I was. And yeah, he made it a great deployment. Came back a better crew chief.
It's fun literally watching the light bulb go off above Alex. Things would start to mesh better for him. Being this wasn't really UTA weekend, they really are doing something. Those are real airplanes with real soldiers. So it's not just another UTA.
What do you have for any kind of advice for those that haven't had the chance to deploy overseas?
I think you should. I think everybody should. It's an opportunity to do something different instead of being stationary all the time and being afraid of anything. There's nothing to be afraid of. Plus, it is what you signed up for.
Absolutely, second that 100%. As a traditional reservist, you have very little exposure to the end mission. The flight hours logged, and at Spangdahlem we were immersed in the full-time Air Force, and it's just it's a different world, and it's what you train for. So if you don't do it, it's like forever being at practice and never playing a game.